The World Cup is about to become bigger than ever. In 2026, FIFA will expand the tournament from 32 teams to 48 teams. That means more countries, more matches, and more fans than any World Cup in history. But here's the question nobody seems to ask. Why did FIFA really do it? Was it about giving smaller nations a chance? Was it about growing football around the world? Or was there a much bigger reason hiding behind the scenes? The answer is surprisingly simple, and once you see it, the entire expansion makes a lot more sense. For most of modern history, the World Cup had 32 teams. That sounds like a lot, but football is played almost everywhere on Earth. More than 200 national teams compete in FIFA competitions, yet only 32 made the final tournament. That meant huge regions often felt locked out before the World Cup even began. Africa had dozens of competitive teams fighting for only a handful of spots. Asia faced a similar problem. Even countries with millions of football fans could miss out year after year. In theory, the World Cup was global. In practice, many parts of the world had very limited access. And that's where the expansion story begins. FIFA argued that adding more teams would make the tournament more representative. Instead of 32 teams, there would be 48. That creates 16 extra places. Suddenly, more countries have a realistic path to qualification. More nations can dream. More fans stay engaged, and more governments become interested in investing in football. This sounds simple. It isn't. Because here's where it gets interesting. More teams don't just mean more football, they mean more viewers. Think about it. If a country qualifies for the World Cup for the first time, millions of people suddenly start watching. Television audiences grow, social media activity explodes, merchandise sales increase, sponsors gain access to entirely new markets. You know the type. The companies that want their logos in front of as many people as possible. For them, every new nation in the tournament represents millions of potential customers, and that's where the business side becomes impossible to ignore. The World Cup is already one of the most watched events on the planet. Adding 16 more teams means adding more matches. More matches create more broadcasting opportunities, more advertising space, more sponsorship inventory, more ticket sales, more tourism, more everything. For FIFA, a larger tournament doesn't just expand football, it expands revenue. A lot of revenue. Of course, not everyone loved the idea. Critics argued that expanding the tournament could reduce quality. Would weaker teams create more one-sided matches? Would the competition become less exclusive? Those concerns were real, but FIFA believed the benefits outweighed the risks. After all, many countries once considered small football nations eventually became major competitors when given opportunities to develop. And history suggests that football surprises happen more often than people expect. So was the expansion about growing the game? Yes. Was it about giving more nations a chance? Absolutely, but was it also about money? Without question. The reality is that all three reasons can be true at the same time, and that's the secret behind FIFA's decision. The World Cup wasn't expanded because of one single goal. It was expanded because football, politics, global growth, and business all pointed in the same direction. So the next time you watch the 48-team World Cup, remember this. What looks like a football decision is also a global business strategy, and if the expanded tournament succeeds, don't be surprised if future World Cups become even bigger. Because in modern football, the biggest competition on earth is always looking for ways to grow. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more simple explanations of football's biggest mysteries, subscribe and stick around for the next one.